How many of you here have survived a life-threatening illness? And how many of you have been there when someone you love has been diagnosed by a life-threatening illness? For the rest of you, just take a moment to give thanks. And for us, I'm sure you'll agree with me that once you've been through something like this, life is never the same again. Today, I'll be sharing my story with you of how I survived a life-threatening illness in December of 2014, and the deeper wisdom I gained when it comes to the value of our health, the power of residual income, and the importance of living daily gratitude. First, my story. Last fall, I was unexpectedly pregnant for the third time. Many of you here may know my beautiful 4-year-old daughter. She is a thriving little girl. And some of you may remember that in 2013, I had a miscarriage at 15 weeks gestation. This ended up being the catalyst for my book, 30 Days of Gratitude. We were not planning to grow our family, but assumed that it was God's will, so we embraced the pregnancy and prepared for the arrival of our second child. Unfortunately, a few days before 12 weeks gestation, I once again suffered a miscarriage. I went to the hospital for a short procedure, only 10 minutes long, and was released an hour later to recover at home. I know that you are sorry for our loss, and I thank you for that. But after what followed, I can tell you that we are so grateful to still be a family of 3. I will not go into too many details about what happened, but I will give you an idea of what did occur. 2 days later, I was admitted to the hospital and diagnosed with invasive group A strep, a bacterial infection that causes flesh-eating disease or blood poisoning, sepsis. I had the sepsis type, which has a 60% mortality rate. In order for me to recover, I had to be placed in a medically induced coma for a week. I will never know what my family, my USANA family, and my friends went through during this time, as I have no memory of what happened. All I know is that I woke up a week later, and I was alive and healing. 2.5 days later, I was released to recover at home. There were so many things that I had to learn how to do again, including writing and using my phone. And my muscles were so wasted that I had trouble walking, driving, and I even had to shower sitting down. But within a month, I was almost back to 100%. And 6 months later, it's as if nothing ever happened. Now that I've shared my story, let's talk about the value of our health. There are many reasons why I'm still alive today, and I know that my USANA lifestyle was absolutely a part of it. I have been partnered with USANA for 9 years, and over that time, I have learned so much about health and nutrition that I have applied to my own life. In fact, before I got sick, if you put me in a lineup with 1,000 people, you never would have guessed that I would have been the one to fall ill. And that's the rub, isn't it? It is so important for us to be in optimal health because we have no idea what curveballs life will throw at us. Interestingly, my liver was so clean that the doctors had to give me the same amount of sedation that they would give an alcoholic because my liver was processing the meds far too quickly. And my recovery was a month faster than expected because as soon as I got out of the hospital, I began taking my USANA supplements again and drinking my Nutrimeal-free shakes because that's all that I could stomach. 3 weeks later, I did the 5-day reset jumpstart with my clients in January, and this past April, I completed the 30-day whole body detox program. So here's what I want you to ask yourself today. Am I doing everything I possibly can to be in optimal health every single day? And if the answer is no, then talk to the person who invited you here today about starting your personalized USANA lifestyle plan as soon as possible. Next, Let's talk about the power of residual income. How many here are familiar with residual income? Residual income is income that comes in whether you are working or not. And when you add leverage to residual income, what that is when you have a team that you work with, of individuals that you support and mentor, you have the most powerful business model that exists today. And that is what we have here in USANA. I was unable to work or even turn on a computer for 2 weeks. And when I was released from the hospital and checked my bank account a few days later, I was shocked to see how much money had been deposited while I was sleeping. In fact, it turned out that December 2014, a month where I was completely unable to work, was my highest income month for all of last year. Imagine if I had a traditional business or a job. I would likely have had no revenue. I might not have even been paid during the holidays. So for those of you who are building a USANA business right now, I want you to ask yourself, am I doing everything I can to maximize this incredible business model? And for the guests in the room, what would happen if you were unable to work for a month? Even with long-term disability, I wouldn't have been paid because I wasn't sick long enough to actually get benefits. In my opinion, everyone needs a residual stream of income. And finally, the importance of daily gratitude. As I mentioned before, in 2013, I wrote a book called 30 Days of Gratitude, the gratitude program that will change your life. And the night before I was admitted to the hospital, I did my gratitude. It might seem strange after having a miscarriage, but what I found is if you can find gratitude, even in the most tragic times, you will recover and heal much more quickly. The next time I wrote was 2 weeks later when I came home from the hospital. And let me tell you, my family has such a deep, deep sense of gratitude that we are still a family of 3. Before I got sick, I would wake up every morning and give thanks for another day. After I woke up from sedation, now I truly understand what a gift it is to be given another day. Do you practice daily gratitude? Are you waking up every single morning and giving thanks for another day? How can you deepen your gratitude practice starting today? So what does my life look like 6 months later? Well, first, I'm in the best health I have been in such a long time. Minus the cast on my foot. Second, I made a commitment to grow my USANA business in the first quarter of 2015. And in April, I achieved the goal of Executive Gold Director. And finally, I live each day from a deep sense of gratitude, faith, and love, knowing that every single day is such a gift and tomorrow is not promised. It doesn't take a life-threatening illness for you to change your life. So I encourage you today to place a higher value on your health, to learn more about the power of residual income, and to truly live each day in daily gratitude by simply waking up and saying, thank you.